Hey everybody, we are currently in the Mojave Desert and we're driving back from Anaheim, California. We went to Disneyland over the last couple of days, which is why you probably haven't seen much from us. We had such a blast. We were there with friends and family and it was so great. So shout out to all of our friends and family who could make it out and spend time with us at the tail end of San Diego Comic-Con, which was immense. We've never been there before. Thank you for the warm welcome from all the wonderful fans of GastroCast and Mischief Toys. Thank you to all the booths who were just so good to us and welcomed us with open arms. $7 a pop. That allowed us to have some time to do some autographs for fans of Mischief Toys. It was just amazing. Took a lot of photos with you guys and it was so much fun.
It was so much fun, and I just want to let you know that we just got into Arizona.
Oh, very nice. Okay, yeah. That's what you were doing. I saw you with your little phone camera there,
yes.
Taking pictures. Okay, very good. But in this video, we want to talk about the Thrilljoy event. We haven't talked about it yet because we've been very short on time, running around doing crazy stuff. So let's talk about the Thrilljoy event. It's called the Block Party, and we wanted to give an honest review about it. So what?
Look at the temperature.
It is 113 degrees. We might melt while we're out here. By the way, we stopped on the side of the road and picked up a bunch of rocks.
We did. I don't know if that's illegal or not, so please don't tell on us.
Yeah, I don't want to be arrested for picking up some rocks off the side of the road. Okay, so the Thrilljoy Block Party. We were invited to go to this thing quite a while ago, and we didn't think we were going to go, and then we decided we're going to San Diego Comic-Con, and we ended up there. Brian Mariotti himself, he and I talked via text, and he's like, you guys have VIP to the whole thing. And I said to Heather, I was like, this is insane. We've never been out to San Diego before. Brian Mariotti is texting me and saying, we're going to this thing and we're VIPs. So first off, I want to mention, we were VIPs to this thing, so we didn't have to wait in the long line to get into the event. So that's one of the plus sides to the whole thing.
Yes. Now, much like our previous video about a different event, we are going to talk about how we feel from our point of view, but we're also going to talk about things that we've heard, been reading online.
Yes.
Now, I will say that since we've been at Disneyland and we did San Diego Comic-Con and all of that, we haven't had much time to do any real digging. But, as you lay in bed and you're scrolling at night, we did come across a handful of things that we would like to talk about in this video, which is, I think, pretty fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's give our honest review. Before we get into that, go to MischiefToys.com, sign up for our newsletter. We have a brand new figure coming just actually probably a week from now.
Yeah,
so pay attention to MischiefToys.com, sign up for a newsletter. You'll find out everything you need to know. Follow us on Instagram at Mischief Toys. We would really greatly appreciate that. And buy this brand new figure, which is our Lovesick figure. It is one of the dopest figures ever. We'll post photos of it very soon to give you an up-close look at this brand new mold from Mischief Toys. Okay, so Thrilljoy. If you don't know who Thrilljoy is, it is a company that is owned and run by the former CEO of Funko, Brian Mariotti, and Brian Mariotti is a really great guy, and he has a vision, and I so far love his vision, which is basically a bunch of blind boxes, and I love blind boxes. I think they're great, and this event was no different. We received a box, Heather and I, when we walked in, and inside that box were a bunch of blind boxes, which we didn't open until the very next day, but the figures were really cool. And just to name a few, Heather, what did we get?
We got a Skeletor. I believe that was an all-room giveaway.
Okay.
Maybe, unless it was that the blue giveaway?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Remember.
Yeah, sure.
But
Lino was one of them.
Lino.
Freddy Krueger.
There was a blue as Harry Potter.
Yes, great figure.
Yeah, there were a lot of very cool. There was a Batman.
There was a Batman.
A lot of very cool figures.
Yeah, great figures wrapped up inside this box, and of course they were all blind. We'll get into more of the prizes and the giveaways and stuff, but first, getting into the event. So Heather and I were VIP, so therefore we did not have to wait in line.
Yes.
However, I will say by walking in and stopping multiple times, it seemed like the line was very lively. There was very good weather. the people were really sweet and connecting with each other, and I think that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good opportunity to see maybe some friends that you haven't seen in a while, or people that you know real well,
Yeah.
or whatever.
So you know how when people wait in line, it's typically like you're just like waiting and you're waiting, and it's like you don't want to be in that line anymore. I'm asking you a question, Chris.
Oh yeah, sure.
So it's just like that's typically what you see in lines, where people are just like you can tell they don't want to be in the line anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice much of that because we literally, like, our friends were at the back of the line, the very back of the line.
Yeah, we left them back there. Yeah.
And we had to walk all the way to the front, which was like a block and a half away from the actual event. And people were talking. They were, everyone seemed to be having a lot of fun.
We didn't spend much time in the line. We got pictures with people. We talked to some friends and everything. We didn't stand in the very long line because we were VIP and we got in. So I can't speak for people who are in line for a long time. So all I can say is it looked like people were having a good time. But there's just not much else for us to say, right? Because we didn't stand in it for some people were standing in it for hours.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is it didn't seem like people were like angry or upset. Like, it seemed like, there were enough people with like friends around them or people that they knew around them. And also the San Diego weather, it was just beautiful. Not that really, I don't want to say it makes standing in line a whole lot better, but it's better than waiting like in the beating sun or the freezing cold.
Yeah. So so the people waiting in line had that on their side. We got VIP. We went up to the front of the line. The only thing that I would say was good about VIP is that I got in sooner and was able to get a cool drink. Outside of that, getting in VIP didn't do anything for me because I'm going to name off a couple things I did not do while I was there. I didn't play any games. I didn't eat any food. And I don't even think I paid much attention to my surroundings of what was going on other than talking to people and hanging out with like our friends.
Yeah.
And people that we had never met before, fellow influencers that I've never met before, that all the influencers that I talked to were super, super cool. There was a stage that Brian Mariotti and his team, when Carissa went up on, they did giveaways and all sorts of stuff, showing upcoming things, which people seem to be stoked about. And then there was a Ferris wheel and all sorts of really crazy things there.
The Ferris wheel was very cool. That was like a big showy thing. I personally did not get on it, but they had like Thrilljoy in blue like on the side of the Ferris wheel. It was very reminiscent of the Ferris wheel with Mickey Mouse's head on it at Disney California Adventure.
Yep, absolutely.
When we saw that at Disneyland, which was really neat. But yeah, I really liked the vibe. I liked the atmosphere. So let's talk first about the games, because the games are something we did not participate in. But I did see some things online and I heard some things from people there. So, like Chris said, we didn't do any of the games. Something that I heard was that the ticketing system was not like across the board. Like, there were multiple games, but the ticketing system was weird. So I don't know if it was a lack of communication between like the different games, or if that's just how they wanted it structured. But I heard that like one of the games gave out way more tickets and then the other games didn't. Also, a couple of the games gave out like a consolation prize. It was like you get one ticket even if you didn't do well, like even if you lost the game. But then some games gave you 0 tickets if you lost the game. So people were like chatting, I guess, as the event was going on and figuring out, okay, this game gives the most tickets. So everybody like got in that line.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
So
that line got popular, basically.
Yeah. So we didn't do it, so I'm just relaying that information. But
we heard that there were people that were taking advantage.
Yeah, we heard that a lot of people were cutting in line. Yeah. The lines were very long, I would assume partially due to that. And some people might do like they might do the game and then get back in with like another group of friends.
Right. So there was basically no one was guarding the game lines. They were just like, you do whatever you want. It was a free for all, and a lot of people were upset about it because they didn't get the same amount of option or the same amount of chances as others that were cheating the system,
which is super frustrating.
But you have to expect it. That's what happens when you're in a situation like that. You have people who are shitheads. They're going to take advantage of it. They want to win all the big prizes. They want to get all the protos. They want to get more protos than everybody else, so they can gloat about it. I'm not surprised that happens. There are shitty people out there. Heather and I didn't play the game, so therefore we have no idea how that all played out. We're only reading what people were saying. Now, the food part of it, I heard a little bit about that. So there was food, and then you said, is it hot dogs or corn dogs?
I don't know.
Okay, so hot dogs or corn dogs?
I heard hot dogs.
Okay.
So I believe for like the entree, you either got a hot dog or a pizza. I didn't talk to anybody who had the hot dogs. I talked to people who had the pizza, at least about the food. I mean, I'm sure I know people who had the hot dogs, but I wasn't going around saying, hey, how was your hot dog?
I didn't even think to go and find food, to be honest. That's the strange part about all of it, because I love to eat. But I didn't go and find any of that.
So the one thing that I heard about the pizza was it was not very good. However...
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is. Like, a lot of people said that it tasted like cafeteria pizza.
I like cafeteria pizza.
Well, then that's good. Maybe you would have loved it. So to me personally, I don't remember how much the tickets were. Were they $200?
I want
to say they were $200. I might be wrong.
Okay.
But even at $200, I mean, you get a night in like an area filled with friends. It was a beautiful night. Tons of photo ops. You got games with the ability to win tickets, which you could redeem for prizes, which was really cool.
That's cool.
You got a box when you walk through the door. And on top of it, like, to me, I didn't even really expect food, but food is always a plus.
Agreed. Yeah.
And then they also had snacks. So I think it was like popcorn and churros or something like that.
That's
I might
cool.
be off.
Okay.
When I went to look for food, it was like too late. Like, the food stands were already closed.
Yeah, you had a lanyard that got clipped anytime you got a thing.
Yeah, you got like a hole punch.
So they would hole punch it, and then they would know what you got versus what you didn't get.
Yeah, and you also got like 2 drinks. I redeemed mine for water. Apparently the waters were like $10 a piece, which is insane.
That's insane.
But you could get beer or wine with your 2 free drinks, but not the mixed drinks, which is understandable. That's and pretty common.
I bought mixed drinks. I believe they were about $20 a piece, so it was a little exorbitant. But I totally expected that from if I go to like, I don't know, a ballpark or something like that. Like, it's always more expensive when you do those types of things. Yeah. So I guess it didn't really shock me or anything. It like didn't upset me. It just seemed like normal to me. And plus, you're in the middle of San Diego. You're at a convention. Everything's always expensive. So, I mean, okay, the prices of those things sucked, but I'm not complaining about it. Like, it's just part of the deal. Now,
and it's not like you need a mixed drink. Like, you wanted a mixed drink, and if you thought it was too bad, you would have just not had it or gone somewhere else.
So the box that they gave away, the mystery box, Heather and I only got one. Because we're a team that are influencers that were VIP. Totally fair by me. I didn't care. In fact, they didn't even have to give me a box. It was nice that they did. We were just there to hang out and see our friends and everything. But throughout the entire night, they were giving out other things that we were winning too, because we were Team Blue. We were not offered an option in what team we chose, which again was fine by me. I really wanted to see kind of see how fans were processing all this.
Yeah,
and the people I talked to were super excited about it and super happy about what was going on. I will tell you this, I did not hear not even a single complaint the entire time I was there. It wasn't until after when I heard a complaint.
Same.
Yeah.
But I think most of the complaints were about the game system, which we didn't even go.
I didn't even pay attention to that, and I was in line. So another part of the issue was where you picked up your prizes when they went up on the loudspeaker and announced their winning stuff.
So if we're going to critique things and we're going to talk about things that maybe were not run properly, let's take a moment to talk about what they could have done differently with the game line. tickets.
Okay.
Really quick.
Okay.
So, speaking from someone who was not over there were a lot of people I heard that were cutting in line to hang out with their friends. They could have either had people patrolling and making sure the line ran smoothly, or they could have put up the ropes.
Yes.
To make them sort of single file.
Yep.
And I think that would have prevented a lot of that, because just sort of coming into a crowd is less noticeable than stepping over or under a rope.
Agreed.
To get it, to cut in line.
Yeah.
So I think that could be something that they could do differently next time if they choose to do games. So now, let's talk about the line to get the prizes. So there were
let's call it the redeeming line, because you would go on that line to redeem for certain prizes.
Yes. So you got tickets. Oh, did I even talk about the ticket thing as much? So I think I talked about how the ticketing system was unfair, but they should have made it more fair across the board.
Yeah.
So, for example, if if you lost a game, either give that person 0 tickets or give them 1 ticket as consolation.
And it should have been that across the board.
Yes.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been this game doesn't give any tickets if you lose, but this game gives 1 ticket if you lose.
Or put a sign up that tells you that.
Yeah. And then there should be a cap of how many tickets, but you should be able to win that many tickets no matter what the game is.
So the rules should be the same across the board.
Yeah, even though the games differ, it should have been capped at 3 tickets or 5 tickets or 10 tickets or whatever they felt was fair, but you should have been able to win the max amount at any one of those games.
Yep, I completely agree with you on that.
So now the redemption line. So there, like Chris said, you got a lanyard with they would hole punch things. So it had your snack and your food and your drinks, but it also had the giveaways. So the giveaway ones, there were I think 2 all-room giveaways.
Yes.
And then there was a team giveaway.
Which we were on the winning team, which was blue.
We were on the winning team, so we got an additional prize from aside from anyone on the other teams. So they would hole punch them as you went. So throughout the night, they sort of paced the redemptions, which was cool. So they were okay, all room giveaway, and everybody would go and get the first prize. And then once that died down and they did more showing things off at the front on the stage, they would then maybe do another all-room giveaway or whatever. The last giveaway of the night was the team giveaway, and there was a contest. So they put a bunch of items on the screen, and it was basically whatever team got the most items in I think it was a box or a bag or something. Whatever
scavenger hunt.
Yeah, whatever team got the most in that room.
See, I wasn't even a part of that. I didn't even pay attention. I was too busy BSing with people.
So I all I know is one of the items was a left shoe. So someone had to lose their shoe and put it in the bag or whatever.
That's cool. Okay, that's fun.
So they did a bunch of stuff. It had to be within that room.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
There was a timer. It might have been 60 seconds or something. I don't know. But that was really cool. But the redemption lines.
Yeah, so when you ran over to the redemption lines, everybody would get in line, mostly single file, but it was just sort of a mess, an amalgamation of just people, stacked on top of each other. When they got up there, they got their whole punch thing, and then they got the item. They had nowhere to go. It was hard to get out of the line. It just sort of backed the line up a little bit. So people seem to be pretty agitated over that, and also the quickness of how they were getting their redemption prize and stuff like that. Me personally, I stood in that line a handful of times, obviously, to get the nice stuff. It was fine for me. I could see that maybe there's a way in which to do it better, but we had an event last year, Night of Mischief, at New York Comic Con, or at a bar outside New York Comic Con, And we did virtually the same thing, and people had to go into line and wait for their things, and it was an absolute disaster. Heather and I are still trying to figure out how to make it better. I would love to know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below if you're a part of it, or you can just listen to what we're saying and you can give us your thoughts in the comment section down below about what you think about what we're saying. But we still have to figure this out, and I think that Thrilljoy, for the very first event ever, I think that they met the excitement level as far as I'm concerned. Like, people were stoked over everything. I think that I think the exclusives were really fun. I think they picked good characters.
Yeah.
I love that. Offering food and snacks, I think that was just a cherry on top, even if it was good or bad. I think that them doing sort of the scavenger hunt thing, also showing previews of upcoming stuff.
Yeah, that was
like
cool.
Terrifier. That was incredibly cool. Very excited about that. Overall, it was great. And as a VIP, like I said, for me at least, it was just getting into the event and just standing around until everybody else came in. So for us, we walked in, we stood there, we talked to a couple people, and then we just waited for like most of our friends to get in there.
Yeah.
And so it was a long wait for that. So I don't know, give or take, maybe it would have been better for me just to be in line and hanging out with my friends. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but I think overall, I think this event was really great for Thrilljoy. I think they did a fantastic job at putting this thing together. I think it was an immense thing that they put together.
Yeah.
Having it outdoors and it like being a free-for-all where people are all running around instead of like table-based, because table-basing it would have been so much easier. But the fact that people were just running around and doing stuff, that's a tough gig.
Yeah, and I think that they did the absolute best with
what they had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only things that could have been avoided was the quality of the food, which realistically, like, I don't. If I go to a place like that, like if I go to a wedding, I expect good food. But if I go to like a Thrilljoy party during San Diego Comic-Con, I'm not going to expect like a 5-course meal.
No, not at all.
So
No.
I don't even want to take points away for that because I didn't even expect food. But I would say the biggest complaint that I have been seeing was with the cutting in lines for the games.
Yeah.
Because people are greedy. And the ticketing system for the games. So I would say that, and the lines at the end of the night. So did you mention what I had talked to you about possibly making that a little bit better?
No, I talked about how we have had a hard time personally, us perfecting it.
So I think that them having it outside of the area was great. I think what could have made it better is, and I read this comment somewhere else. The fact that they didn't have an area for you to just, like, when you got up to the tables through that crowd of people, you couldn't just cut through and like go around the crowd of people. You literally had to walk back through the crowd of people, and it was just horrible. Yeah. So I think maybe ropes in that situation would have been helpful to like streamline it a bit, and then ensuring that maybe like there was like maybe 3 feet of space or so between the table and the lines of people, so that you could like easily get out and then not have to walk through the crowd. Like those are my only real critiques, and I thought it was a very great first event.
I thought the exclusives were really great, and I opened them maybe the night later. I didn't even open them at the show. I did see people opening them and ripping them and seeing that they got the chase. We didn't get any chases.
The first time I ever saw this, it was people putting what they got on
yes, I saw that. Yeah.
And like actively trading, which I love. And I even saw people like walking around like with their phone with a picture of like what they had, like ensuring that other people could see it to see if anyone wanted to trade. It was really cool.
The only figure I really wanted that I didn't get, and I might get later, is a Mars Attacks Blue.
Yes.
I didn't even know they had it. And it's like, he has a couple blasters in his hands. That's really is the only thing that sort of stands apart, I guess, from a normal blue. And it said like Mars Attacks on the shirt, I think. But that was a really cool piece. There was a Harry Potter one that Heather ended up getting from our friend. Great figures. I don't know. I love the event personally. I'm so happy that we're able to attend. A big shout out to Thrilljoy for inviting us. And what is a Gastrocast video without having critiques. We have to
Yeah.
have our critiques, and those are our critiques, even though they weren't necessarily our own critiques, some of them, because we didn't play the games and things. But still, it's what the people are saying. And it's all about critiquing, but also giving ways in which to fix the problem or improve the system later on. That's what it's all about. And I
Yeah.
feel like we can take away a lot from that event for our upcoming Night of Mischief, which will take place this fall.
Yeah.
We're learning from the best, right?
The absolute best, yes.
That's it. And so check out, if you haven't already, patreon.com/gastrocast. We got a ton of items from San Diego Comic-Con to include Thrilljoy, products that I haven't even opened yet. I'm going to open them. Hopefully we pull some chases for you guys. Barely available. I got some of those as well. I got all sorts of stuff, Funko stuff. I got all sorts of stuff. So we're going to have a massive giveaway on our Patreon, which will be in the month of August. We're doing 2 calls, baby. I don't know what days they're going to be, but we will announce them. And just prepare yourself, because it's a lot of really great stuff.
Prepare your butts.
Prepare your butts. And unfortunately, I can't read names in this video, as we have not been able to do. And I really apologize about that, patrons. I hope you understand. I know you do, because you guys are just so awesome to us. But we will make it up to you in some way, shape, or form, okay? Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. Thank you for listening to all of our things that we had to say. And Thrilljoy, we love you. We'll see you guys very, very soon. We're going to get back on the road here.
Bye.